Boy. I guess they could drop from both of them. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. Ah! Dude, what just happened? Dude, we... Alright, let's melt this boy. Boom, boom. I think. Where'd he go? How'd he teleport already? How'd he already teleport? Oh my god! What did we just do to him? Bro, what? Alright. Let's do this. Play it in the background? Yeah, instead of copywriting it, I'll just sing it. Alright. That was a better kill. We did that a lot better, not gonna lie. Alright, so the gun damage bonuses aren't going to affect us because we're not doing gun damage. The cryo and corrosive could hurt our damage because we are doing the sticky bombs can be any damage. We can't control what kind of damage the sticky bombs are doing. So we're getting our shield down, hitting ourselves with the piss grenade to take our dot off, lighting ourselves on fire, slide, switch, grenade. Yep. That's how it's done, boys. Melee AMARA versus GRAVEWARD. Easy peasy. We didn't really get anything. But yeah, these are our modifiers. Once again, gun damage doesn't matter to us. We are losing damage from the cryo and corrosive because these stickies that we're hitting enemies with could be any element. But yeah, easy peasy. Yo guys, what is up? Moxsy here with another Borderlands 3 video. And you guys have been asking for a melee build from me. Oh, look at that stick drift. I personally wasn't that interested in melee as much, and so I hadn't given it much of a go. But recently we started messing around with melee, and I came up with this build, which I've done a lot of testing on, and I think it's maximized to its fullest potential. This is a boss killing melee build. It kills bosses with melee damage very, very quickly, stupidly quick. We'll have another video for like my mobbing melee build, because this would be quite different. And just to preface, before I show you guys the skill tree, just gonna warn you, you're not gonna like it. You're gonna be upset with me. Just hear me out. It's not pretty, but it's good and it works, and I'll explain why. So the biggest thing that you guys need to understand our damage is that we're going to be using the face puncher, and the face puncher gets no benefits from weapon damage. Gun damage, weapon damage, bonus damage, no damage increase. So our anointment on this, after using phase slam, weapon damage is increased by 300% for a short time. That doesn't do anything. We get no bonus damage from that because we're using melee damage. So you can use any face puncher. This is the one that I have, but we can show it off later. This 300% damage doesn't actually boost our damage. Gun damage does not boost our damage. Personal space doesn't boost our damage. Wrath doesn't increase our damage. Jab cross doesn't increase our damage. So what increases our damage is melee damage, and melee damage only. That is it. That is the only thing we're going to benefit from, except for what we're going to be using with this build. So once again, you don't need an anointed face puncher. You do need a sellout. I've tried testing. I didn't want to be using the sellout and an elemental projector, but we're doing something a little different this time, and I'll show it to you guys. But a sellout, because we are going to be igniting ourselves. I've been using the Thunderball Fists. If you didn't know, the Thunderball Fist scales off of melee damage, but we're just using it as a way to strip our shield pretty easily. You could just shoot a few shots to strip our shield. Now we're good. It's just, you could use any gun that you can strip your shields with. I've just been using the Thunderball Fists. So that's optional piece as well. And then we'll get into the required pieces. So for this build to work, you need a 300% melee damage Brawler Ward. The reason we're dropping our shield with the Thunderball Fist before we fight a boss is because of the Brawler Ward's bonus melee damage. While our shield is depleted, we're going to get that plus 300% melee damage, and that is huge. The, once again, plus 25% weapon damage does not affect us. That's not going to give us any benefits. Our class mod, we're using a Solitary Breaker. This is going to give us weapon reload speed, shotgun damage, and Hyperion weapon damage. Our Face Puncher is a Hyperion shotgun, so this works out perfectly. Just kidding. We don't benefit from the shotgun damage or the Hyperion weapon damage. Very sad, I know. I tested it out. We don't benefit from it. It's really sad, but we don't. It's only melee damage. And then for our artifact, we're using an elemental projector white elephant. This is essential to the build. We need the elemental damage boost, and we need the melee attacks have a 30% chance to attach a sticky bomb. We need both of these for this build. This is absolutely crucial because a lot of our damage is going to be coming from these sticky bombs. These sticky bombs we're going to be boosting, and they are going to be a majority of our damage. My stats aren't ideal, but if you could get like incendiary damage, melee damage, anything like that would be really good for this. Or splash damage would be good too. If this face puncher was anointed for melee damage, you would be perfect. We don't have that, but we can still one-clip bosses with it. And then we're going to get into the skill tree. So for the skill tree, it's going to look awkward. You're not going to like it, but just remember that we don't benefit from gun damage. So personal space doesn't help us. So we're going to be getting Root to Rise, give us more health. We're going to be getting Arms Deal. We're getting Arms Deal because these sticky bombs are going to benefit from our splash damage, which is very nice. And as I said before, these sticky bombs are a majority of our damage. Then we're using another point into Find Your Center. The only reason we're using this class mod is because of this point. If you can find a class mod with +1 into Find Your Center and like melee damage on it, or like incendiary damage, splash damage, use that instead. This damage reduction is nice, but it's not needed, and the stats on this aren't needed. Once again, this build isn't perfectly optimized. I wish I had a perfectly optimized one to show you, but just for you guys to know that personal space doesn't benefit us. We're using this class mod because of this plus 200% melee damage, which is going to directly impact our face puncher, and that's really good for us. So as you can already tell, these points are kind of optional. So these 5 out of 5 are necessary. This point here is necessary. What you want to do with these is also optional. All of these points don't really matter until we get to Blitz. We need Blitz because it's melee damage. So we're just going to get some damage reduction. We'll get some healing. And once again, you could spec anywhere if you want Samsara. If you're going to run around doing like a boss circuit, or killing a lot of enemies, I would recommend grabbing Samsara. For this in particular, we're going to be killing GRAVEWARD. Samsara gun damage doesn't going to help us, but the health regen is really nice. We're just grabbing Jab Cross because the action skill damage is cool. Once again, not going to help us. This 100% melee damage is crucial. Otherwise, we could be doing something else, but we need this. All right. Then we're going over to the Fist of the Elements tree. We're grabbing Anima 5 out of 5. That is because when we ignite ourselves with the Sellout, we just want to be ignited and have the damage buff for as long as we can from the Elemental Projector. We're going to go 5 out of 5 into Tempest. This is going to directly boost our damage because we're picking up 5 out of 5 into Infusion. So our shotgun is now going to be doing fire damage. It's still fire melee damage. It isn't fire gun damage. It doesn't convert part of the gun into melee damage and gun damage. It just converts it into fire melee damage. And our last point in this tree we're going to put into Illuminated Fist. So from here, it's optional on what you're going to want to do. Depending on the boss you're fighting, we have some options here. And we have some options here. If you're going to be fighting a boss like other than GRAVEWARD, you can get Samsara if there's going to be like a lot of ads and stuff to heal yourself, but that's really it. The reason I say that there's optional points here is because we could go down to Sustainment. If you're wanting to go down to Sustainment, I would put a point into Steady Hands. Indiscriminate, these aren't going to benefit us. We're not using an elemental weapon, and we're not grasping anything. But to stay alive in a longer boss fight, for example, if we're fighting Tyrene, Sustainment can be really nice because we're going to be healing a lot from that. So when I was doing my boss circuit kills, which I did last night on stream, we killed every boss in the game, I was using Sustainment to stay alive, which is very nice. But for Grave Daddy, we are going to go 3 out of 3 into Fast Hands, 2 out of 2 into Dual Harm, and just put 1 point into Transcend. The reason we're putting our point into Transcend and not Sustainment for GRAVEWARD is because we're going to kill him before he damages us. And melee damage cannot crit. You cannot crit with melee damage. So crit damage does not boost our damage. But these sticky bombs can crit. So even though, I would love to have 3 out of 3 in here. 3 out of 3 here would be amazing. But we can't skip any of these, and we can't skip any of these. So really, we would just need 2 more points, and we would be perfect. But yeah, just 9% increased critical hit damage is still nice to have, and it'll maximize our DPS here. One other thing that I wanted to mention is we're using the It's Piss grenade. The It's Piss grenade, sorry, funny name, It's Piss, but it's going to damage enemies take 20% increased damage for 6 seconds. And it also extinguishes status effects applied to allies. Don't really care about that. However, I've found that it's a great tool for killing bosses that I've started to use. I don't really like using grenades that much on AMARA. I do like using grenades. I just don't use them that much. Grenades do have some really cool synergies with AMARA, if you guys didn't know. Like I said in my last video, you can put multiple elements on your grenades with Forced Expression, and you can actually heal from them with Sustainment. But I've started to like using this It's Piss grenade, just because of the 20% increased damage for 6 seconds. Basically is giving us a free laid bear without any skill point investment, which is super nice and can turn average boss kills into really, really good ones. The only thing you have to pay attention is Grave Daddy is kind of far away, so we gotta lob that sucker to get him. But yeah, super great stuff. And that was the build. The biggest thing, the sellout, this elemental projector is going to be boosting the incendiary damage that we're doing with the face puncher. So that's why we're doing that. It's going to boost our elemental damage that we're doing it, and if our sticky grenades blow up with fire, because we're igniting ourselves with fire, those will do bonus damage. I've had a little bit of difficulty. I've been doing all of my testing um, on in my past on bandit technicals. Unfortunately, bandit technicals are immune to melee damage, which is real frustrating. I'll show you guys in a second. So just real quick, shooting a technical, it'll get our dot damage, but our actual bullet damage doesn't do anything because vehicles are immune to melee. So that's kind of annoying, but just letting you guys know. If you're wanting to play around and test with this, you got to test it on real enemies. So I've just been testing it on GRAVEWARD. And for the last part of this video, I'm going to show you guys what you should be doing, the order that you should be doing to maximize your damage. Alright, real quick for you guys. So the order that I like doing this in is you're going to shoot the Thunderball Fist at the ground. This is going to take our shield off. After we take our shield off, we're going to jump down here, ignite ourselves, switch to the face puncher, slam, throw our grenade, and then shoot him. And as you saw in the previous kills at the beginning of the video, that works really well. I'll leave you guys with a few more kills at the end of just other enemies because we did a boss circuit last night. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you learned something new or enjoyed the build, leave me a like, comment, remember to subscribe. We're streaming every night on Twitch. So peace, guys. Thanks so much. We're out.